it's almost becoming comical, comical to believe what I tell you about purchasing a rebar bender in the Philippines. If you didn't actually see me in all my previous videos show you what's available online, the page that the items are online from Lazada, and that I have actually paid for, the money has been taken out of my debit card account 4 times, somewhere between 168,000 and 196,000 pesos has been taken out of my debit card 4 times. And 4 times, the company I bought the rebar bender from did something to not allow the rebar bender to be shipped or even picked up from their company. So that's 4 times I paid for the rebar bender that I've shown you in previous videos. I'm not going to go through that again. And 4 times, the company that I paid for the rebar bender did something to either not allow the rebar bender to be picked up from their factory if, and here's a big if, it is possible that they never had a rebar bender. I never saw one. I never received the video confirmation that they had one in their factory. All I ever received was emails that we have one in stock. Now that's from the 4 people that I actually paid for the rebar bender to. I actually put my credit card number in, it's in Lazada, paid for it. The money was taken out of my account. That was all confirmed. And then because the company didn't allow the truck to pick up the rebar bender, maybe they didn't have a rebar bender. Who knows? Or the truck went to pick the rebar bender up and no one was there to give them the rebar bender. Maybe they didn't have a rebar bender. Okay, but to go one step further, that happened twice. And then 2 times, I purchased the rebar bender and paid for it. And then within, and I'm not exaggerating, I paid for the item. The order was confirmed. Lazada said, thank you for your order. I got a confirmation order. I have all the pages saved. And 90 seconds later, my phone rang. And both times, it was a shipping company in Bohol. So both of those rebar benders, one for 168,000 pesos, one for 196,000 pesos, or $3,000 plus and $4,000. Both times, there was a $600 shipping fee involved to get the rebar bender from Manila to my front door. According to the Lazada operator, it was from warehouse to my front door. And both times after I paid for it, the phone rang within 90 seconds. And it was, I'm not going to give you the name of the company, but it's a shipping company in Bohol telling me that they will be the ones to bring the rebar bender to my house. And I said, yeah, okay. And they said, there's going to be an additional 30,000 pesos for delivery. I'm going, well, I just paid 30,000 pesos for a delivery from the warehouse to the dock in Manila on the ship to the port of Bohol. Yes, sir. That's separate from our 30,000 peso fee to bring it from the port of Bohol to your house. And I'm going, it's only 10 miles. I'll come and pick it up myself. No, sir. We're responsible to bring the rebar bender to your house. Now, it could be because I can't, I don't believe I wouldn't be allowed to go pick it up at the port of Bohol, but he is saying I can't. Now, I'd have to go to the port of Bohol to ask them what the rules are. However, it doesn't matter. I wouldn't pay $600 to bring 600 pounds of piece of equipment 10 miles. It's 10 miles. I'd pay $160 to $200. That's what it's worth. So both times I canceled those two orders because I'm not paying somebody $600 to bring a tiny little machine. It's not even, it's half the size of a normal size refrigerator. It does weigh 500 pounds, but it's only half the size of a refrigerator. I'm not paying $600 for that. I can order a truck and go pick it up with my own truck, or a truck that I would pay a driver. I can pay $35 for 3 hours. Excuse me, $45 for 3 hours for a truck with me on the truck and the driver. Why would I pay somebody $600 for something I could pay $45 for? I can have the truck here, and I can go meet the truck at the warehouse. I can go with the truck driver. I can get that truck to the port of Bohol, pick up the machine, and bring it back for $45. Why would I pay $600? But he says the shipping company refuses to release the paperwork to me. Okay, so that's 4 times I paid for the ReBar bender. 4 times because of shipping issues, I didn't get it. So I had 2 more options. I bought another ReBar bender last week, and Lazada operator assured me the ReBar bender, that one was 196,000 pesos too. Well, yeah, that was 196. A lot of because they all start off with just about the same number. That was $4,000 with the $600 shipping. Although it's a different company. One was Garnecia, and the other one, I forgot the name. It's back 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So Garnecia, I bought the machine from 196,000 pesos, $4,000. The Lazada operator is 100% sure that the machine is from their warehouse to my house. So I called, I bought it again 5 times. 5 times. 196,000 pesos. So, but I called up Garnecia because they had a telephone number on Lazada. You could get to Garnecia's telephone number. Here's what I asked Garnecia. I just bought your ReBar bender. Yes, sir. Can you send somebody to your warehouse and make a video of the ReBar bender in the warehouse? And then walk outside your warehouse and show me the signage on your warehouse. No, sir. Why not? Well, sir, we don't actually have the ReBar bender in stock here. We have to order it. So we were done. I canceled the order 5 times. So now, up to date, today is Tuesday, yeah? Tuesday. So on Saturday, a 6th company, Genda, Jen. Hold on, I'll show this one to you because I have this one up on the board here. Okay, this one here. So now I bought this one. This one was much cheaper too. This one is a Toyoyama steel bender with panel, semi-automatic, right? Okay, 115,000 pesos. 115,000 pesos. Your answer is on the screen, what it is. Yes, they are expensive. This is what a rebar bender looks like. And what it does is it bends metal bars. This one here has the capacity to bend a metal bar 1.5 inches thick and make a U-turn out of it, or a 90 or a 45. This is a very powerful machine. It bends up to 32 millimeter rebar, which is a bar this thick, and it will make a U-turn of a 1.5 inch bar. So I buy this. I put it in my shopping cart because I'm on the phone with Lazada Saturday. And this is so deceptive. See this rebar bender? It's 115,000 pesos. That's $2,300. It says standard delivery over here. Standard delivery. Standard delivery. Now, I don't know what that means, standard delivery. So I'm on the phone with Lazada. Lazada tells me standard delivery is from their warehouse to my front door. So I put it in my shopping cart. When I get to my shopping cart, this price pops up. Where is that? This price pops up. 128,700 pesos. Why? It's the same machine. So it just went up 13,000 pesos. From the top of the page, the Toyoyama 32 millimeter goes from 115,000 pesos to 128,000 pesos. I don't know what the difference in the price is or why, but that's what it did. So the lady says it's not 128. Put it in your shopping cart. So I put it in the shopping cart. Let's just put it in the cart right now. I added it to my cart. And now I'm going to get the real price. And the real price is 115,000 pesos. That's the real price. Why it's not there, I don't know. Why it's not in the shopping cart, I don't know. Why it didn't go into my shopping cart. Why? Oh, here it is, right here. Okay. So here it is in my shopping cart. Okay, and then order summary. Okay, so there we go. Proceed to checkout. That's what the lady said to do next. So I proceed to checkout. Okay, I'm proceeding to the checkout. It won't go. Now, this is another problem with Lazada's website. It sometimes will just crash. I don't know why. But anyway, proceed to checkout. It won't go to checkout. So let's just go back here for a moment. See where it says right here? Oh. Wait. Oh. Only one item in stock right here. Only one item in stock. Well, it won't check out, and I'll tell you why it won't check out. It won't check out because it won't check out. Let me tell you why it won't check out. There is no item in stock. It doesn't exist. It says it exists on the page, but when I called up the company that sells the item to find out about the shipping. So this item was 115 plus 30,000 pesos for the delivery. So it actually is 28,000 pesos. So 25,000 is 143,000 pesos for this item, that item that you saw on the screen. So just shy of $3,000. Now, the Lazada operator is 100% sure that that includes the delivery to my house. So I want to confirm it. And when I call up the company, Jenda, Jenda, and I call them up at this telephone number, 917-718-9401 and 0926-627-3265. When I call up Jenda at that number, well, the 917 number, someone picks up the phone and they breathe. You can hear like one or two breaths, and then they hang up the phone. Uh, 50 times since Saturday morning. So they pick up the phone and they breathe, and then they hang up the phone. They don't say hello. If you say hello to them, they hang up. If you just listen, they breathe 3 or 4 times, then they hang up. So basically, I'm calling a breather. I don't know. So there I find the other number, the 926 number, 0926 number. And I call the guy, and he goes, hello. I says, is this the company Jenda? Who are you? Well, I'm a customer. What is your account number? I said, well, I don't have an account number. I didn't make an order yet. How can I help you? Well, I want to buy the ReBar bender. No, sir. Oh, God, when they do this, it's so frustrating. What do you mean, no, sir? No, sir. I'm in the warehouse. What? I didn't ask you where you were. I didn't ask you where your mother was. I didn't ask you where you were going for lunch today. I said I want to buy the ReBar bender from your company. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You'll have to call the secretary. So he goes, I will give you her number. So I already had her number. So I read the number back to him. He goes, yes, actually that's not how it happened. He said, call me back in 5 minutes. So I called him back, and he gave me the 917 number. So I had that. I thought maybe it was wrong in the website. So I waited. I called him back. So he goes, you call that number. I says, I've been calling that number for 2 days, Saturday and Monday. Yes, sir. I said, well, no one answers the phone. Yes, sir, I know. I said, so why are you telling me to call the number? Sir, her husband died. Whose husband? The secretary. The secretary husband died. I said, but she answers the phone and she breathes. He spoke English. I hear her, and then she hangs up. Yes, sir. Maybe in a few days she will answer the phone. She answers the phone. Yes, sir, but her husband died. Okay, so I said to him, I'll call back tomorrow, which is today. So I started calling at 8 o'clock, and she answers the phone and gives it 1 or 2 deep breaths, and you say hello, and she hangs up. Her name is Jamie. This is the telephone number to Jamie. If you want to call her up and console her about her husband dying, or buy a ReBar bender, this is the number. So I called back the warehouse with the guy. And I said, sir, I cannot get in touch with Jamie. Yes, sir. Her husband died. I know. I know her husband died. Uh, do you have the rebar bender in stock? Because he was in the warehouse, and the rebar bender should be in the warehouse. So we can't accommodate you at this time. You can't accommodate me because Jamie's husband died or because you don't have the rebar bender. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Which one is it? Sir, we can't accommodate you. Okay, we'll do it a different way. Do you have the rebar bender in stock? No, sir. It says you have it in stock on Lazada. Yes, sir. Do you have it in stock? No, sir. Why does it say it's in stock on Lazada? I don't know, sir. So I thanked him. And I mean, the guy's in the warehouse. He's not a secretary. He's not he's not the paperwork guy. But so it says it's in stock, but it's not in stock. And it says that there's one available. So what I really wanted to know from Jamie, the secretary, was, being that I bought it Saturday, does it come with shipping door to door? So on Saturday, she didn't answer the phone, and I canceled the order again while I was on the phone with Lazada. I made sure they were on the phone so they could supersede, because Lazada has a policy, once the order's processed, there's no return. That's it. It's done. You got to pay for it. They got to ship it. But they don't have the item in the warehouse. I don't know where they have the item. I have no idea. And that was the last rebar bender in the Philippines. There is no other hydraulic automatic rebar bender in the Philippines. I have exhausted every avenue to buy a rebar bender in the Philippines. So what does that leave you? I'm just going to say this to you straight up. You will never be able to do business with Alibaba for a rebar bender. I could show you Alibaba's website where they have a rebar bender for 140,000 pesos. It's in China. It's $3,000 for the rebar bender and $4,000, and it would take 6 weeks to ship it here. So it goes from $3,000 to $7,000 for a rebar bender, and you have to pay a customs broker in Cebu to pick that rebar bender up from the port of Cebu Customs, bring it to the Customs Clearinghouse. They check the machine. Customs Clearinghouse puts it to the port of Cebu. The port of Cebu puts it on a boat. The boat brings it to Bohol, puts it on the dock, and then they want a separate company to pick it up, and you pay an extra $600 from there, which the broker has no control over. So, but the broker's fees for a $3,000 rebar bender are $4,000. For the broker's fees, to use their license, for them, the Customs Clearinghouse charges you $600 to take it off the ship to bring it to their warehouse, and $600 to take it from their warehouse to the dock. That's $1,200. The customs broker charges you $200 to use his name. That's $1,400. The truck then there's another $600 in broker's fees for miscellaneous, for $600 in the broker's fees for the broker's customs house. So that's $2,000. And then there's VAT tax on all of that money, on the broker's fees money and the cost of the machine, which is up to now $3,000 and $2,000, $5,000, which is the broker's $3,000 for the machine, $2,000 for the broker's fees. The VAT tax on that is 12%. So that's another $520 on top of $5,000. So it's actually $5,200 for the machine, not $3,000. And then they want an additional $600 to bring it from the Port of Cebu to your house. So add $600 to $5,200. That's $5,800. It's $6,000 for that machine. $7,000 for a different machine, and it could take 6 to 12 weeks to get to you. And you have to pay for it in advance, 100%, and there's no warranty on the machine. So for a $3,000 machine, it goes to $6,000, and you got to go through all of that, and you have to pay the broker's fees before they release the machine to you in Bohol. So you sign an agreement with them. You paid for the machine. I paid for the machine. I sign an agreement with them. It's their machine. They bring it into the country. They pay the fees. I pay them the fees. Then they give me the machine. So let's just say I didn't give them their $3,000 for their broker's fees, or $2,400 for their broker's fees, they keep the machine, they can sell it. And they can still sue me for their $3,000. That's just stupid. So you can't order anything from Alibaba. Forget that. Just forget ordering anything. If you want to buy something from Alibaba, everything is the same way. Everything. So once I ordered $5,000 worth of stuff from Alibaba, and the import fee was $5,000. So there was $10,000 for the order. Forget, you can't buy, in other words, I can't buy a ReBar bender. Now, there is none in the Philippines that anybody knows about. There aren't any used machines. So that subject, you probably won't hear me talking about a ReBar bender until I can buy one again, if anybody ever has one again. So the next subject I wanted to talk about, I'll read the comments. I don't know how business gets done here. She picks, no, Phnom Penh, she's not sitting in the office picking up the phone. This is the number, 917. You can call her up and ask her if she's got a ReBar bender. I'd appreciate it. This is the number, 917-718-9401. That's a cell phone number. So her office is her cell phone. So she's picking up the cell phone, and apparently she's only answering cell phone numbers to personal friends to console her with her husband's death. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But she's not answering the phone. She picks it up. She breathes. When you say hello, she knows it's not somebody she knows because I have an American accent, and she hangs up. Or they hang. Who knows who it is, a guy or a girl? The secretary's name is Jamie. $4,000. Yeah, basically $4,000 for shipping for a $4,000 order. That's correct. Because I really should pull up my broker. I did this once before with a broker. They have a service fee for everything. They have a service fee to use their name, the broker, in Cebu. That's $200. 10,000 pesos. They have a service fee for their office. That was another $200. Then they have a service fee for supplies for their office, which was $100. Well, all their all their service fees and office fees. Then they have then the broker says he has to go sign the paperwork at the customs broker's house. So apparently, if there was something illegal in the shipment, he would be held responsible for the illegal shipment. Something like that. Nobody's ever clear on these things, and he's charging me $300 to go to the warehouse when the piece is delivered, and another $300 when the piece gets put on the truck. But the fact of the matter is, the broker doesn't go to the warehouse. The fact of the matter is, there's a guy in his office, like a Gal Friday. He does that. He was the one who picked me up and brought me to my cargo container. He was the one who brought me to the brokerage house. He was the one who brought me to the North Reclamation area to see the cargo container. He was the one who brought me to the dock. There's a guy they pay about $1 an hour, $10 a day to do that. But the broker charges $300 for that service, but he pays a driver like $10 a day to do the service. For the rebar bender only, $4,000, $3,800, all of the fees, including the last 10 miles of shipping. That's ridiculous. It's $4,000 on top of a $3,000 order. And I have 3 prices from 3 brokers. And one of those brokers, after dealing with him for 2 or 3 days, the price he gave me was within $100 of the other 2 prices, but he had a problem. And his problem was his broker's license expired. So he couldn't do the deal. But so I had like 3 hours of phone calls with this guy back and forth. And then he found out his license was expired. And also, in order for me to pick up the machine, I have to have an NBI clearance, which I do have. But that's not the point. The point is, the broker's doing all the work, but I still have to have an NBI clearance to take the shipment off their hands, which I have. But this is what it's like doing business here. Tommy Bobby. Yeah, and you'll pay the broker. And so if Tommy Bobby, that you didn't circumvent customs, you just complicated customs from a shipment from America to the Philippines. You can't do that. Now, maybe if you could buy one and put it in a cargo container, that would be something else. If you were bringing over a cargo container of equipment, but there are not that many rebar benders available in America because you have to buy the rebar benders from China to get, or India, or Italy, or Germany, but those are more expensive. So I don't think that would be possible unless you put it in a cargo container. A headache. Yeah. Phnom Penh. Yeah, a rebar, handheld rebar bending tool that costs $900 for the handheld rebar bending tool is $900 in import fees. It's all the same. It's whatever it is, at least double. That's where the $5,000 order came in. It was $3,000 for the rebar bender, $900 for the rebar handheld cutter, and $900 for the handheld rebar bender. So it was really $4,800. I just rounded it off by $200. So it was $5,000 for the order and $5,000 for the shipping. Yes, it's the same. Doesn't matter what it is. Paradoxical cues. No, it's not possible to buy anything from. It's not possible to buy anything from. First of all, I have over 100 emails with Alibaba. You want to order one thing from them, and they recommend 12 buyers, and you might talk. I talked to 2 buyers, and the 2 buyers couldn't come up with a price. After 3 weeks, they couldn't figure out what the shipping was going to be from China, so they just drew an estimate of from China to the customs. Oh yeah, that was another fee. I forgot about that. When you go through Alibaba, the shipping price for the shipping from China is also $600 or thereabouts. So that's an additional $600 on top of the brokerage fees, which brings it to over $5,000, over $4,000 in shipping fees. That's Alibaba, but that's what it is, and everybody has the same exact price. It doesn't matter which broker, what company that in China. They're all identical in price. They're within 5%. All of them are within 5%. So I don't know what to do. I need a rebar bender. I'm going to just have to wait for somebody to have one in Manila, and then I'm going to Manila. I'm going to jump on a plane. I'm going to go to Manila. I'll go to the warehouse. I'll buy the rebar bender. I'll put it on a truck. I'll bring the truck to the dock myself. I'll put it on the ship. I'll get on the ship, and I'll blog Manila and the ship, and that'll be it. It's got to cost less than $1,200 for me to do it that way. And it's just the principle of the thing. To pay somebody $600 to bring something 10 miles is not within my parameters, mentally. Mentally, I can't do that. Mentally, that guy should be delivering that item for $160, which is what it was last year. But they decided to charge $600 for those deliveries. So they all got together as a consortium. They all agreed $600 is the new price to ship something more than 100 pounds from Bohol to here. And that's the price from everybody, $600. It's ridiculous. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing, I'm definitely down to just about 100 kilos. So I lost 3 kilos in the last 2 weeks. And I attribute that to my time spent eating prawns at the prawn farm. So I'm going to up my game at the prawn farm. What I'm going to do, I don't know that I'll be able to start my new carnivore diet schedule on this Friday, because I might have something to do this Friday. But what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to start going to the prawn farm on Friday morning and get the buffet. Then I'm going to fast on Saturday, and then I'm going to go back to the prawn farm on Sunday, because I'm losing weight eating all those prawns and the pork and the chicken. So if I double my prawn farm intake, my buffet, I do a double buffet 2 times a week instead of 1 time a week, I can double my weight loss. I can double my weight loss from eating prawns, shrimp, and pork, and chicken. So I always have something to do once a week in the city. I go visit some people, and I do some other things in the city on 1 day a week. It doesn't matter. I have to, 1 day a week I go get my supplies. So that'll be Friday when everything is open. And I do my banking. Then on Sunday, that will leave me open to just have the carnivore diet. Just the carnivore diet. So I'm gonna up my buffet schedule to Fridays and Sundays, and see what the weight loss is after 4 weeks. And if if after 4 weeks I lose at least, say, 5 kilos in 4 weeks, then I know that the buffet, the double buffet, is helping me lose more weight. Because prawns, you can eat all the shrimp and pork and chicken you want on the carnivore diet. That's carnivore friendly. And being that I feast on the prawns and the shrimp and the chicken and the pork, and then the next day I don't eat. I do a 24-hour fast. That's when I'm really losing my weight. So if I do a prawn farm buffet on Friday morning and fast on Saturday, and then a prawn farm buffet on Sunday morning and fast on Monday, theoretically I should lose twice as much weight for that half of the week. So we're going to test that theory out. And then I think the last thing I wanted to talk about is I pretty sure that on or before January 10th, my secret, I will be able to reveal my secret. And that secret will, after I reveal that secret, you will see that there are some people on YouTube that are not exactly been telling you the gospel truth over the last few years. Since the day they got on YouTube, they've been telling you white lies and fibs. And I will eventually by January 10th have enough hard copy physical proof that there are some people on YouTube which are not as truthful as they want you to believe. Now, you might think you know who they are, and you might even be able to take a rough guess at that, but on or before January 10th, I will confirm with hard copy, hard evidence, data, physical data that I'll be able to post on YouTube legally and show you factually that the person or persons are lying as to what the real facts are. And when that happens, then it will be up to you, when I show you this hard factual data, to challenge me. And I'm going to give you the data, the dates, the signed applications, and the signed documents to show you. And if there are registrar numbers for those documents, I'm going to show you how misled you have been over the last few years. So that's going to happen on or before January 10th. I have a few pieces of documents that I am allowed to show and allowed to prove that there are people out there that are making up stories. And when I show this information, they have sworn basically on their reputation as what they call a human. They have sworn on their reputation as to be human, that everything they've ever said is true, and I'm going to prove everything they've ever said is not true by showing you the factual evidence with dates and signatures of legal documents. And then where will they go at that point? Where will they be at that point? Are they going to retract everything they ever said and admit that they're a liar? No. Even though I've made it so clear in everybody's... I have never backed down on what I say to be true. I have never backed down. And I have never lied to you. So when I prove it, then where are the people that have been fantasizing about me being a liar? Where are they going to go? What are they going to do? They're going to have to crawl into a little hole. Or they'll come up with some miraculous story. Who knows what these people are going to do? But what they're going to do is they're going to say, "Oh, okay, Fazio was telling the truth." And and then what? And then when I start building the hotel, then what? Then what? What? He's never going to build a hotel? What about that part of what I'm going to eventually prove? When I start building the hotel, what? Am I not trying to buy a rebar bender? What do you think? I'm going to spend $5,000, $3,000 for a rebar bender just to put it what? To do? Put it in my backyard? I'm going to build a hotel. How long it takes me, that might be something else altogether, but I'm going to build a hotel. And I'm going to make everybody look like a fool and a liar. I never gave a date when I was going to build the hotel and have it done. Never did I do that. And I see stories on YouTube. He's been billed for 7. No, I've been in the Philippines for 7.5 years. I had the permits for 3.5 years, and I couldn't start until 3 years ago, digging the holes. He doesn't even have any holes dug. Yeah, all the holes are dug out of the solid coral, which is 150 cubic yards, which would have cost me roughly, I don't know, $5,000 to hire a company to come in, between $5,000 and $10,000 to hire a company to come in and do that. I did it. It's done. I have 3 more small holes, two and a half small holes to dig. So it's not like I've been digging. It's not dirt here. You walk outside, and I take a broomstick and hit the ground. It's coral. There's no dirt here. You might see grass on top of the coral, but there is no dirt here or sand. It's all solid coral. And if you go back and look at my digging videos on Hoodwinked by an Angel, you'll see it's all solid coral. The water tanks and the septic tanks took me, I don't know, 2 weeks to dig out. Vastech, that's the second time you've posted in 2 days. I don't know who you are. Well, I don't know what that means. Are you trying to say something to me in a different language? I'm not real sure. I see the name, Vastech, VASF, Vas.tech. I don't know. Are you trying to tell me to look up that company or something? I'm not real sure what that means. I know it's not negative, but I just don't know what it means. So I'm only really just working here for 3 years. And then I was injured, seriously injured. I almost died from a fall, from a defective ladder from China, although somebody said I fell off the ladder. Okay, but that's not true either. So was he here to see me fall off the ladder? I didn't fall off any ladder. The dogs walked out of their grooves and the ladder collapsed and almost killed me. So basically that person, he's just an outright liar. He's a liar, and on or before January 10th, that would be one thing I can't prove, but I'm telling you, the person that said I fell off a ladder is a liar, straight up and down liar. But I can't prove that, so we'll just leave it at that. So that's what I'm going to do. So those 3 things are what I wanted to talk about today. And you guys out there that keep saying, oh yeah, one more thing. My leg is healing. I don't have MRSA. I don't have MRSA. I had an infection in my leg, a serious infection, but it wasn't MRSA. But you keep hearing that it's MRSA and I'm going to die. And it's not. And I'm not going to die from it. It's actually, if I were to show it to you again today, which I could do, tell you what, you want to see my leg, what it looks like? Put $100 in Super Chat right now, and I will. I'll take the camera outside, and I'll put the camera on my leg right now, right this minute. You put $100 in Super Chat, And if I'm lying to you as how much it healed up, well, I'm not. So I could show it to you, but then you guys just want to make fun of my leg. I hear people saying all kinds of things about my leg. My leg is healing up just fine. Very slow, but just fine. And since I posted 5 weeks ago, I have taken zero medication, nothing at all, nothing. I completely stopped the antibiotics. And the leg, some of the wounds were 1 3/8 inches round. They're gone. One is gone altogether. One is about that big now, about 3/4 of an inch. And the other three are half, two of them are half the size that they were. And the last one is 30% smaller than it was that I showed you in that video 6 weeks ago. So without antibiotics, my body took over the healing process. And the fluids have all but dissipated into nothing. But people want to make up stories. Go ahead and make up stories. And I don't know when, but several weeks from now, all the wounds should be gone. Probably it'll be a few more months, but they'll all be gone. And then the person that says I have MRSA will be proven to be a liar, because MRSA doesn't go away. You die from that. The one thing that the liar is not lying about is that there are some flesh-eating bacteria viruses that you can die from, but I don't have one of those. So basically he's just making up stories, which is what he does. So I'm going to go outside. I'm very happy about what I got done yesterday. I was able to pick up the back of that cargo container with the machine. I have it in the comments on that video. It's of really poor quality. It hasn't rendered yet. It'll probably render to be a better quality. It wasn't, but it might not render to be a better quality, and I'm really unhappy about that, because yesterday the internet was just terrible. Today, it took me 2 hours. At 5:30 this morning, it took 2 hours to open up Lazada website. 2 hours. So I started at 5:30 this morning, and I didn't get a page with pictures on it until 7:30. Even though I refreshed the page, I shut the computer down off, and I restarted the computer and shut it down, and I took the history out of the computer, and then I defragged the computer and started it up again, and I looked for updates, and there weren't any. The internet here is just terrible the last few days. So, but I did get the container off the cribbing, and then the next thing I have to do is today I'm going to go up on the roof, finish cleaning up my door and window jamb lumber, put it on top of the pile in the middle of the cargo container, take my waterbed lumber and my custom shelf lumber that's made out of driftwood, put that on top of the pile in the middle of the cargo container. Then I need to bring, I need to go to the store and buy a couple of sheets of plywood, 3/4 inch plywood, for the shelves in cargo can 2. I have some, but I need 2 more sheets. And I won't do that. I don't do that kind of stuff in the morning because it destroys my day. I do that as the last thing at the end of the day. And then I don't know that I'll do it today. And then I'm going to start taking the cover. There's a huge pile of lumber, new lumber. No, I'm not going to break that down. I got to raise the house. Remember, I have to still raise the house and move the house. So I think I'll finish up cargo can 2, get it raised up where I want. Then I'll break that pile of lumber down that's under the green and white striped tarpaulin. I'll cinch it. I'll snatch it with the cable that's in cargo can 2. I'll snatch half the pile, and I'll snatch it I'll snatch half of it and put it up on cargo can 2 to store it up there after I paint it. I got to paint the lumber also. I have the paint, though, for that. I like to paint my lumber because it keeps the small... If you paint your lumber, even you thin it out 25%, it does 3 things. And that's why I paint my lumber. At the end of the day, to paint $800 worth of lumber that's underneath the tarpaulin white, it'll be white. It won't be yellow. But at the end of the day, it'll cost about $30 of paint. And it'll be white. That does 3 things. Number 1, it raises the hair on the lumber. Might not be important to you, but the white goes into the lumber. That's one thing it does. The second thing it does is that when you want to mark it with a pencil or a crayon, it's easy to see the mark for cutting purposes a month or a year later. And the third thing that it does, and this is the most important thing, is it keeps the bugs. The bugs would prefer to have lumber that's not painted. So ants, silverfish, the little water bugs and things like that, they don't want to go into painted lumber. The paint stops the water from being absorbed in the lumber, and that's what the bugs live on, the water from the lumber. But if the lumber's painted, it's water on top of the paint. They would prefer to not live on painted lumber. And unless if any contractor out there would agree with me, even Jack, I know Jack is lurking somewhere, and he's always lurking. He always says he's lurking. So even Jack would agree that painted lumber is less desirable for the little bugs and creepy crawlers than non-painted lumber. And when you paint the lumber, it eliminates some of the splinters or some of the splinters. And when I said the first thing that makes the hair on the lumber go up, it makes the lumber, when you have a pair of gloves on, or no gloves, it makes the lumber more grippable because the hair goes up and it's like 1,000 little grips, 10,000. All the hair on the lumber goes like this. And then it's hard. The paint dries up hard. Now when you grab it, you have something to hold on to. It's not just a slimy, wet piece of lumber. It's got the hair sticking up. So it's beneficial to paint it for multiple reasons. And also, if you're walking around at night, it's easier to see. So there are many benefits to paint lumber before you use it. And that's it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to end this live stream. I don't see anybody want to see my leg. You can put $100 in my super chat, and I'll take the camera outside right now and show you my leg. And you'll be able to see how much it healed up since November 1st. I think I posted my leg video. It's healing with no medication and no antibiotics, no cream. I have not put cream or salve or mupirocin or anything of any nature, nothing on my leg in 5 weeks. And I'm not going to. I'm going to let the body take care of this the way the body was meant to take care of an infection. And it's working. So that the person or persons that keep saying I have this and that, and that they don't know what they're talking about, when it goes away, and that'll prove them wrong on that venue, I'll be able to prove them wrong on the plans and the permits and the legal documents venue shortly. And these are not documents that were signed this year. These are documents and plans and permits that were signed going back into 2016. So it's not like I doctored the documents. And then on or before January 10th, you'll be able to call up the building department and you'll be able to confirm the permit numbers and the dates that the inspector signed off on the permits and all of that good stuff, which will make one person, or at least one person, look like a complete and utter storyteller. Storyteller is a good way to put it. Hans Christian Andersen doesn't have anything on that guy. And in fact, it will make him even more upset to be proven to be a fraud. But he did it to himself with the 1,000 times that he stated this, that, and the other thing. He can never prove anything. He just says it. Well, I'll disprove it all on or before January 10th. I'm going to disprove every legal venue. And I have a reason that I'm going to do it on or before January 10th. Because after that, I'm going to do something that's going to be different. Let's put it like that, different. So you guys out there, I don't see somebody sending me $100, so apparently you don't want to see my leg, but you want to just believe that my leg is not healed up or not healing. That's up to you. But there is a video dated on around November 1st of my leg, and if you were to compare that to the one, if you send me $100, I'll show you my leg. It sounds like I'm doing burlesque, yeah? If you send me $100, right now, send me $100 and I'll go outside and show you the leg. And, there are a few people out there that are going to be, you should be, I'm going to be sending you some messages. A few people out there, you won't like what I have to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. And, if you think that I'm kidding, well, that's entirely up to you that you think I'm kidding. If I tell you something, you should understand it to be factual and truthful. And if I say something's going to happen, rest assured it'll happen. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. You're going to eventually see it happen in real life. I'm going to build a hotel. I do have the plans. I do have the permits. And my leg is healing. So at that point, what is it that, what more is there? What more is there? I got people saying, he's going to have his leg. I'm not going to have my leg cut off. It's not going to happen. My leg is seriously infected, but that's it. It's getting better. Took a long time, but it's getting better. So anything that you hear from anybody about my leg is, let's just say it's fraudulent. And the person that's stating such fraudulent conversation may himself be fraudulent. And that's my show for today. It's not real sure what time it is, but I'm going to say goodbye. It's 11:30. I'm going to start my afternoon show around 12:30. I'm going up on cargo container 1, and I'm going to finish cleaning the lumber and do what I said I was going to do. So I'm Bing Permy from Michael Fazio in the Philippines for now. And then in 1 hour, I'll be up on the roof working and sorting out what's going to stay on cargo can 1 and what's being moved from the house to cargo can 1 for the specific reason to prepare the house to be moved 19 inches towards the ocean. That's all I need. I could go 24, but I need 19. 19 will do it. 24 would be, you know what? I might go 30. I might move the house 30 inches towards the ocean. And then when I get my cargo can, I have another piece of property next door. When I get the cargo can on my second piece of property, however long that takes to move it to my next property over, I'll move the house back. I'll just move the house back. I should be able to do that. Depends on, yeah, I can move the house out 30 inches. I'm thinking about this now because I did some measurements yesterday. I could move the house out 30, bring it back 11. And I still should be able to open up my cargo container 1 doors for my stores and my supplies. That's logistics. So is Jack out there? Has Jack stopped by? No. Okay. Bye-bye for now. I'm Pink Permy from the Philippines, from Mr. Congeniality. You could see how congeniality I was today, yeah? I only called somebody fraudulent when I could have used much harsher terms. But that person is so fraudulent, it's going to be blatantly obvious on or before January 10th. So bye-bye for now from the Philippines, baby. I'll be back in 52 minutes. I'm Pink Permy, which means take care always. From the Philippines, baby. That's right.